I'm not 100% sure, Andrew, but I guess there's fish here.
Yeah! This week I'll be going to a small sand lake quarry that is close to the house that is 80 feet deep in the middle, but on this one end with a small bay, it has a 12-foot trench with 3 to 5 foot deep margins. In the spring, when the water's high, the carp are able to come in through an access creek from the main lake, Lake of Two Mountains, into this lake, which is fully closed off normally in the summer when this creek has only 3 inches of water. But we've been coming and putting bait on both sides of the margins, heavy, and I even got some marker cane poles that I made up with some weights on the bottom to mark our spots. Spring's in full effect. The water's dropped a little bit. With this warmer weather, the nature is surely out, and it'll be nice to do our first overnight session of the year. We hope to do 36 hours or so and see a few fish.
When I'm fishing in early spring with spots less than 6 feet of water, I like to use a piece of this cane with a couple weights to hold it down, and I can mark my spots, and if fish end up getting tangled in it, it can lay down and the line slips off. So it's a great way to mark without having to use a marker. Gonna get out there and feed though.
After feeding every day for the last 2 weeks, Alex and myself were finally ready to head in Saturday morning. It was 6 a.m. bright and early. We headed in with a light amount of gear, seeing as the weather had changed and it was no longer supposed to be sunny all weekend. The rain was supposed to roll in Saturday night into Sunday morning, so we decided to pack light and just do a day session. Little did we know that we'd be heading out that evening around 6 or 7 o'clock to go get our bivvies and pods so we could pass the night for what was going to be an epic session. We got a bottom bait rig here, blowback, that I showed in my last video with Munch citrus fruit pop-up and Munch cream seed bottom bait. 3.5 ounce Fox lead gripper. Got some method on that. We're gonna get that baby out there. For the second rig, I just have that pop-up rig that I showed in the last video. Again, 3.5 ounce gripper, and that one's ready now too, so we're gonna get that one out. Normally the water's a little higher. Last week when we were here, it was up quite a bit, and the fish could get over there up into this field and into the timber, and they like to come in there. Water gets a lot warmer and they can spawn a lot faster and begin eating as well a lot faster. So the water dropped in the last week at least 2 feet, but with the food we put in, I'm hoping that the fish are still here, trying to find a little bit of warmer water on the sides that's there. So we'll see. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. First one of the day. Good little one. Baby. Still a nice one. They're so cold to touch. We'll get them back. Oh, bye-bye. So we just got our first fish, rebaiting up. We're not using much bait on the spot. We put out a couple pre-made method balls, and then we're putting out a little bit of method on our weight each time we cast. So my method's just a pretty simple quick oats, panko, a little bit of chopped boilies, cream corn, and kernel corn. And then you add a little bit of water to get the consistency you want. You don't want it too wet because you don't want the ball to stay on for more than like 5 minutes after you cast max. But you don't want it too dry because it won't stick either. So good consistency like that. You can see the corn, a little bit of boilies in it, pineapple boilies and some fruity boilies to match with the citrus. And then I like to put my hook into the ball so it just doesn't wrap around my leader when I'm casting. That fish actually came off of the deeper spot in about the 7 to 8 feet range. So.
Sweet steam, mon gars. Sweet steam.
I'll stay in bed, man.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Sick. Sweet stem, huh?
Yep, sweet steam. With a little piece of corn on the top. On met ça à l'eau.
Oh dude, je pensais que c'était un miroir pour de vrai, je suis comme holy. Nice one though. Bigger than my first one anyways. Oh no. In the net. About the same as the first one anyways. Yeah. At this time of year, we don't really care about the size. Nice one. About the same size as the first one, but like I said, this time of year, the size doesn't really matter. It's just nice to get a few bites. On the same pop-up, it's been a while. We've been waiting. We had a fish at 9:15 and then a fish at 10 o'clock. And now it's like almost 4 and nothing in between. We saw a little bit of action on the surface. Not sure if it was carp or not. And this one just came out of the blue, so. Oh, yeah. Right after number 3, number 4.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, quand c'est en forme, le soleil qui sort. Wow. Pas trop gros. sir. That's it, man. Yeah, 22, 23 for sure. Another nice one. Nice one, dude. Yes. Number 4.
Number 4. Number 4.
Right there. Yes. He's holding bottom. Might be a nice one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. 20 pounder anyways. That's it. That's a good one. Fifth fish of the day, my biggest. About the same size as the ones you got, Alex. Citrus blend pop-up snowman rig with a Rod Hutchinson mango banana bottom bait. Right, 23.5. A little bit bigger. That'd be my biggest of the year then. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Super nice colors too. The tail is super orange.
Number 5.
After what was an amazing day in the afternoon drawing into the evening, we had 5 fish with another lost in 10 to 11 degree water temperature this time of year. That is an amazing result. We had made the decision to head to the house and grab a bunch of gear so we could do our first overnight of the year. Before heading out, we decided to head onto each side of our swims, feeding a small amount of sweet stim, citrus blend boilies, as well as me. Putting a good amount of bait all around each of our markers, we ensured that the fish would be there when we got back. With Alex's girlfriend arriving to watch our stuff, we each headed to our house to grab bivvies, food, caffeine, and any other essentials that we would need until the following afternoon. After what was only about an hour, we arrived back, wished Alex's girlfriend farewell, and started to set up camp. It didn't take long and we had our bivvies up and we began to eat our dinner. We told some great stories and had a few laughs, but the evening into the night was very quiet. We went to bed with little action, but we were awoken in the early hours of the morning to a long-awaited carp.
Morning, guys. Just got up. It's like 7. Had a catfish for the night right before we went to bed, and then we had 1 carp. Alex had a carp actually at like, I don't know, what time was it? 4? And my alarm was actually going off. Alex had heard his alarm go off a few times, but only beeps, and then my alarm went off. And we actually got up, and his fish had came around my line somehow, which is pretty weird because they're pretty far apart. Anyways, I got my line in, unhooked, and we ended up landing his, so we got one in the sack to take a few pictures. Let's go see what it looks like. Yeah, really nice morning, so I'm gonna rebait a little bit. Actually, probably not rebait. I'll probably just put new bait on my lead and get the rods back out there. I had no action. What a nice morning. Our nighttime fish.
With no action through the night in my swim, I knew most of the boilies and corn that I had put in on the spot were most likely still there. In the early months, the carp are slower with the cold water and eating a lot less. Once you put in too much food, you can't take it back, and the fish might become present eventually in the swim, but only eat a little and only maybe the free offerings, leaving you without a bite. A little bit of pack bait and a new munch citrus blend pop up, and that should certainly produce a fish.
Oh yeah, t'as-tu vu? Il y en a un autre qui a sauté, gros, juste en haut du fil.
Ah ouais?
Ah ouais, une genre de 25 là. Ah ouais, hein? Moi tout, je suis sûr là. C'est une grosse semaine. C'est une run de grosse en tout cas. Slow, steady. Je voulais gentil.
Les nets, man, ça me prend un net, j'ai pas de net de monter.
Tiens. Moi tu veux je te mette. Quand je peux ne pas le faire, j'aime mieux ça. Comme ça, si une décroche, je me fais pas blâmer. Ah ouais, c'est petit fiche. Là, on relance tout de suite.
What turned into being supposed to be just a day session, we ended up going home and getting pods and bivvies and ended up doing our first overnight of the year, which turned out to be pretty good. We had 5 fish the first day with a couple loss, and then 1 carp through the night, as well as a couple catfish. And then today we had 4, so we had all kinds of conditions. It went down to like +5 last night with 18 degrees yesterday, +18 today. Now some rain just rolled through. So we got everything pretty much packed up. Alex already took off. I'm just waiting maybe another half an hour and then taking off, making sure the rain had stopped. The spring spot of ours wasn't normally as good as most years, but there's lots more spots around that we're hoping to be able to get out to and put some feed in and hopefully get some nice fish for you guys to see. So be sure to subscribe and don't forget, hit that bell and like the videos and stay tuned for what's to come.